even if it's just tapping the pen all around, just to put some spots of color in there, white. You know, these little minor details, when we zoom out, they're going to make a big difference here. Could even add stuff where there is nothing, just to give that extra added little dimension of something going on in there. This is just time consuming now. I'm really rushing it, doing it as fast as I can for you guys. But I don't know. I've been using Photoshop for a long time, but not consistently. I mean, I'm starting to learn 3D Studio Max. I'm starting to learn Mudbox. Taking a lot of classes in school and learning all these new tools that I don't want to forget a lot of the foundations of this, all the Photoshop stuff I've learned over the years, and I figured got to do it every day. I mean, I'm a big fan of, you know, a lot of those guys over at Massive Black. Those guys are amazing artists. They're the competition. You know, I have a lot to learn. If any of my stuff is going to compare to any of their stuff, I need to be able to produce it a lot faster. And I know that over the years, what got me from a pathetic little schoolboy doodler to somebody who could at least produce something that looks like this, it took a lot of tutorials, a lot of books, a lot of practice, a lot of classes, a lot of reading, a lot of study. It all started with classic pencil and paper work. Well, it didn't start there, but it had to go back there. I had to learn the foundations and everything of studying light and color theory and crazy, crazy stuff. A lot of things to learn. Come out a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I might even drop this down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, we're working with it at full, but to do the final adjustments that I want to do, we're definitely going to drop down the opacity. I already know what the effect is going to be. I've done this often enough. But yeah, so I'm nowhere near professional level. I don't claim to be. I'm just a guy trying to work his way up, trying to learn as many tricks as I can and techniques. Admittedly, there are some things I've avoided. I avoided hands and feet for the longest time. I hated drawing hands and feet because they always looked retarded. And now I get pretty decent at them. Because if there's one thing I've learned is whatever you hate drawing or not good at, draw it more. Because there's no excuses. You either bring your skill level up in every area, or you're just going to be looked over. You know, if you can't draw decent hands and feet, nobody's going to pay attention to you. Right now, I can't draw decent eyes, so I think after I'm done with this project, I'm going to start studying eyes more. Well, I don't think, I know. Because I know that's been a weakness of mine for a long time. And I need to get over it. I need to draw eyes. I need to draw I even need to draw noses more. I got a bunch of anatomy pieces I gotta study yet. But all in good time. You know, you could have showed me this picture 6 months ago and said you're from the future and you're gonna draw this in 6 months if you keep practicing, and I would have been like, yeah, right. You're crazy, I can't draw that. Well, I can't. It's not gonna get you recognized. It's not gonna get you the job. I can't. It's not gonna get you anything. Right now I'm just trying to add some ridges, you know, give some of these things a little more depth by just highlighting some contour lines, I guess you want to call them, ridges in the face. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the exact same thing with shadows as soon as I'm done. You know? It also helps to break up some of those shadows behind it and kind of make it look a little dirtier. A little more ruined, in a sense that he's aged, he's got some years behind him. You know, like he's probably, whatever race he belongs to, they probably all generally look like this, but he's definitely got some subtle differences, crack patterns and stuff like that. I wanted to give him a scar somewhere. I wanted to give him a nice little dent in his head. Maybe we'll work on that next. You know, I want to show that this guy's got, that he's a badass. I just don't want him to look like a badass. I want him to have evidence that he is, indeed, that he's been through some stuff, you know? Brighten up some of these ridges a little bit to pull them out. I do want to get a highlight on the upper lip region here. Let's see what else we could do right here. Right here. Can still do a little bit more back here. Highlight on the end of this ridge here, bring it straight down and across. You know, all these little things, they add that extra dimension to the picture, that extra little subtle touch. And like I said, I'm going to come back in here soon and start working with pretty much doing what I'm doing now with the highlights. I got to do with the shadows, and that's really gonna bring out a lot. I wish some of these were darker. I might have to darken that stuff up manually. Come back here to this side. Now look at all this detail that came out of nowhere from that simple little pencil sketch. He's got a whole new like anatomy coming out. You know, like these ridges here, I didn't even see them earlier. I didn't see them on the other side. Maybe I'm looking at this too much like this.